Good morning, everyone. Um, how are you today? It's me, Shane Lee. It's 4:14 a.m., 6/8/2017, or June 8th, 2017. Today I want to start off by teaching you a song by Phoebe Snow called Poetry Man. I sung this song to my psychiatrist at the VA, and just wanted to teach you how to sing in unison with Phoebe a little bit. Now, since we have fair use under educational purposes, and also I get to critique 10 seconds of the song, I'm going to start off with the beginning for a 10-second clip, and then the chorus for a 10-second clip, and then towards the end for a 10-second clip. Now, the point there is to show you how to sing in unison with your favorite artist. Now, since I can no longer do the whole song, I won't do that anymore, but I'll adjust accordingly. Now, this is Poetry Man by Phoebe Snow, and the song came out around 1974, and it's Shelter Entertainment Group, and again, would like to teach you how to sing it, and also I'll critique it too, and stuff of that nature. So it's a legal clip. Now, you can also do this if you're a writer or a critic for a newspaper, or if you just want to critique songs online on video. Now, since it's only the audio portion, again, you can do this legally, like with a newspaper or something of that nature, or as a reporter, or as a critique, a person who does critiques for a newspaper. Of course, since I'm at home and disabled, I can't even really get an education right now, so that's what I'm doing. Teaching you my education up to my GED. Right? Which I made it to the 11th grade, so that's almost fully graduating. And only because I turned 18 before I got out of school, and I would have been 19 before I would have graduated, and would have graduated around, almost 20. I know. Well, in 19 anyway. Now, I don't know if I would have gotten any more child support after 18 or 19 anyway. I don't know. So what I did instead was I got out and got my GED and got a job to sort of help support myself when I was living with my mom when we moved to Garden City, and that's the point. Now, we did get into normal fights about me staying there, of course, being at my age. And that's why I finally decided to join the Navy when I turned or close to 20. Anyway. Now, had I continued in high school, guess when I would have joined the Navy? 20. But whatever. And I joined it within 6 months anyway. Or so. Because I was in by February 20th or February 19th, somewhere around there. So that's December, January, February. So 3 months after I turned 20, I was in the Navy. I know. And that was 1990. I know. And I was born in 69. You do the math. But anyway, here we go with critique an educational video of Poetry Man by Phoebe Snow. Or Mary Snow, whatever. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. course, I'm a guy. So who expects me to sound just like Phoebe? No one, no one. But if I'm close enough that you hear some of her voice in my attempt to, that's okay too. I don't know. Now, the purpose of teaching you these songs is that if you work on it, like Michael Jackson, for example, you don't have to become the opposite sex to sound like the opposite sex if you don't want to. That's what I mean too. If you want to, no one can stop you from doing that either. So I'm trying to work with each side either way. So anyway, let's continue with the critique. Ooh, yeah. You made me laugh. Cause your eyes in light tonight. La la la. Now, this might be more of a live performance for Phoebe than in the studio because they can clean it up and there's no static in the air or there's no filtering through the microphone or stuff like that. Even when you sing karaoke, which I got my karaoke machine here. I can demonstrate that too. Turn it on. Well, now, what I did there is instead of using the phrase she used when she opened her song, I used well. Now, since she can only copyright the music or the melody, and not necessarily, the words of the song, not necessarily even the melody, because melodies in music can be repeated to a point too. It's like the guys who pointed out the 4 chords in the 80s that they used repeatedly in songs, which was a comedian duo a while back who was doing that. Well, they're right, don't you want me? Again, that's the Human League, a song by them. Don't you want me? Don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me? Oh. Now, anyway, that was just a song we would listen to in the 80s, and but most of them had the same chords. And, even Milli Vanilli's, girl, you know it's true. Ooh, 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 I love you. Now, even that song was based on chords we all were familiar with during that time. Or Mark Wahlberg, who was once known as Marky Mark, and the Funky Bunch, and stuff like that. And feel the vibrations, feel it. Anyway, it's just a good vibration. It's just a sweet sensation. That's the song. With a lyric from the song, and what Marky would do is feel the vibrations, feel it. Stuff like that. And anyway, so that's what I'm teaching you today. Alright, let's go. Yeah! I'm trying to find the chorus, which here it is. Now this is the chorus of the song, the main part you want to sing in any song. Now a song is composed of about say a few sentences of the melody, with words arranged, and then after that you have words you repeat that become what's called the chorus. Well, anyway, when you do that, that's how you produce a song. So what Phoebe did here was she wrote a song called Poetry Man. She has a few verses before the melody, and then when she sings after the melody, the main verses, she sings the chorus, or stuff like that. So anyway, here we go. Talk to me some more. You know that you don't have to go. You're the poetry man. Now, of course, being a guy, I'm doing it a little bit lower than Phoebe at that junction. Let's keep playing the chorus for you. Alright, the next lyric is you're the poetry man, you make things right. You're the poetry man, you make things right. Yeah, yeah. Now, there I freestyled it as you would hear in a live performance. Right? Instead of just singing it traditionally in unison with her. Now, here's a live version I found. Now, listen to the audience as well. Now, if you listen, when you're singing with the mic, she sounds a little bit different than in the studio. Right? Alright? Do you hear the difference already in the recorded version in her live singing performance? She's missing a few notes from the original recording, and when she's singing live, she's freestyling it, which is, okay. But, a choir singer, for example, like myself, who was taught to sing in a group and merge your voice with, say, your baritone, well, there are a bunch of baritones, right? Well, my friend Joey Lively said when we were singing in the group, he could not hear my voice, which means a distinct voice from me, different from the group. Meaning I was singing with the choir and blending my voice properly, with the baritones. For example, one of the songs we would sing was called Little David Play on Your Heart. And this is the main voice I heard when singing the song. And this is who I would blend my voice with as the group sang. And this is what the song sounded like when we sung it in rehearsals, and also when we went to our concert and sung it there too. Now, we prepare for different stuff throughout the year. We prepare for Christmas, and then we also prepare for our winter type performance, and then we prepare for a let's say what we call competition, right? Now in competition, Mr. Mullis's class, I pretty much say until he retired from teaching, always got what's called superior or ones. And one of the songs we learned to sing was called Little David, Play on Your Harp. And it went like this, and this is the main voice I heard and I matched. Little David, play on your harp, hallelujah, hallelujah. Little David, play on your harp, hallelujah. Now, if you heard the choir, and we were singing the male parts, that was the main voice I blended my voice with, and only the person who was actually blended with was the person we sang with too. I know. Now that means there was one voice we chose while singing the choir and in the choir, and we matched his voice. Right. Now we all, I guess, in our own minds, thought this guy had the best voice, and we matched his voice in the bass and baritone regions. I know. Now the females would also come in. Little David was a shepherd boy. I'm sorry, I messed up there. I'm a little nervous. It's been a while since I heard that song, but now, being a man, of course, I mainly focus on the male parts. So, when you're in the baritone section with the bass and the baritone, you tend to either go bass or baritone, and you tend to blend with the strongest voice around you too. So that's called imitation, or some people call it impersonation of that one voice, right? So when you blend your voices, you're also singing in unison or harmony. Now, part harmony is where different people sing different parts of a melody, like the Beatles, for example. She loves you, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that's part harmony. Now, what I did was choose one of the voices, which is the main one I heard on the radio, to sound like them. So that's what I did. That's what you do. And so anyway, I started singing along with the different people on the radio. And one of them was Phoebe, of course. So I'll listen to Phoebe. And again, I'm going to continue with her live version to the chorus. I'm not there yet. Let's see.
All I ask for is your smile each time I rub away. And with you, I have a giggly.
Now here she's sounding lower than in her studio performance, and you still hear her voice, of course, but that's why some people, when you see it live versus in the studio, they wonder, well, why can't they match the studio version sometimes? Like even Hank Williams Jr., when I went to his concert here in Savannah, I didn't quite match his performance on the album he put out. Meaning he was singing it more freestyle than actually matching the record itself. Which that's just another way to sing, right? Now I can do it either way. The song, let's see, Country Boy Can't Survive, for example. Country Boy Can't Survive. Now that was more of a freestyle version, but based 50-50 on my voice. I know. Close to Hank's, but different. I know. Country Boy Can't Survive. That was like the end, I know, of the song. And again, that's the point there. Now, that's the end of the song, the record, in the last verse of the song. So again, I believe when I first adapted my song, Grew Up in the Country, I based it a little bit off of this. Grew up in the country down in Effingham, learning about the Jesus and the great I am. Now, that's trying to impersonate Hank Williams Jr. and put his voice in my voice. Now, his dad, Hank Sr., he had a couple songs. Now, again, in entertainment music, they don't want you to sound like your dad. They want you to develop your own voice, even with Ray Charles, for example. He was, according to his autobiography, or biography, which starred Jamie Foxx, when Ray was singing, he could impersonate most singers like I can. Well, CBS still wanted him to develop his own voice. Right. Well, I'll teach you, let's see. Georgia on My Mind, for example, since I'm in Georgia. And that's the state song. Georgia, Georgia, the whole day through, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. And that's just a mild impersonation of Ray Charles, and the opening line to Georgia. Right. And of course, if you know that song, let's see if that's on YouTube. This is from the original album.
At Longhorn, tonight's special grill.
We got an ad first from Longhorn.
Salt-crusted filet, our grilled Hawaiian salmon, or our outlaw ribeye. For lunch, try our steakhouse burger or any steakhouse lunch combo. You can't fake steak. Georgia.
Alright. Now, I was a little bit different than Ray then. I don't know. Now that I heard the original album. Alright. Instead, he does like this. Georgia.
Georgia.
Georgia. The whole day through. And Ray can do this too, so it's no big deal. Just an old sweet song Keeps Georgia on my mind. Alright, anyway, that's a mild impersonation of Ray Charles. Now, another of his popular songs was Hit the Road Jack. Alright, I'll get to the actual singing. Alright, first it starts with the females, and I want to teach you how to do that. Now, of course, Michael Jackson is known for a high-pitched voice, and some people say he sounded more feminine than masculine. And it was in the biography that Ray could do that too, and actually sound like a woman. Now, I've heard certain groups who can do that too. Hit the road, Jack. Well, that was more my voice, but anyway. Hit the road, Jack. Now, what I'm trying to do there is match the females' voices, and let's listen to it briefly again. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more. No more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. What you say? What you say? Hit the road, Jack. Alright. Just playing a little bit. But you sort of get the point there. I know. Now, this is called impersonation in music, and it's also called imitation or canon singing in early choir and stuff like that. Now, the FBI is what controls copyright and all that stuff too, and they can prosecute you or stuff like that too, unless you play by the rules, right? Right. See, I always try to play by the rules. Now, a lot of people want to say, oh, I'm not teaching anything. Well, yes, I am. I'm teaching sing-along, which you learn in school. So, I don't know what you're talking about when you say I'm not teaching anything. So, let's see if we can find another of Ray's songs. I Got a Woman.
You asked?
Another ad
We delivered.
by Henry's Hard Soda.
Live hard. Ish.
Well,
I got a woman.
I got a woman.
Way over town.
Way over time.
That's good to me.
That's good to me. Now, what I'm doing there, and this is just 9 seconds of the clip, is I'm impersonating, again, Mr. Charles's voice, and teaching you how to do the same if you're at home and you want to sing along and match his voice. Which is really the only place you are really allowed to do it, right? Right. Now, even if you are in your car and you're recording, they will not even allow you, they're so strict on this law, which should be a problem either way, to even, while you're listening to the radio, without giving the person royalties from it, play a song on the radio and record it on your camera as well. If you do, they'll take over the whole video and put their own ads on it too, like for here on YouTube, for example. That's again why I'm doing brief clips to teach you to sing the song. Now let's jump ahead to and try to find the chorus here. For I Got a Woman.
Yeah. She give me money.
She gives money
When I'm in need.
when I leave. I'm playing. That's because of the other song by what's his name? Kanye West. And, she give me money when I'm in need. Gold digger, gold digger. I ain't saying she's a gold digger, but she ain't bitch no broke. Nah. Again.
Way over town, that's good to me. Stop bringing me. I got a woman.
I got a woman.
Way over town.
Way over time. Now that's just to demonstrate changing your voice and doing it in a slightly different voice than Ray's as well.
That's good to me.
That's good to me. There I went back to the impersonation.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. What did I say? How about that one? Alright, it starts out with a musical interlude, so I'm trying to get to the vocals here. So I gotta skip ahead a little bit. You'll hear. Alright, a little bit more. Now I gotta pause it until I find the music because it must be way ahead. Now, if I play the whole song, then I'm no longer critiquing it, right? Right. So that's why I gotta play you parts of the song.
All right now. Hey, hey.
Right. All right now. Hey, hey.
All right.
All right.
You see the girl with the diamond ring?
See the girl with the diamond ring?
She knows how to shake that thing.
She knows how to shake that thing.
All right now.
All right now. All right. Now, there I'm teaching you again impersonation. There, matching the vocals on the track, and how to impersonate your favorite artists, and that's how you do it. So again. Just a few examples there, for you to learn to do some of that if you want to. Now, of course, I love listening to this music, so that's the critique part, and I never really have a hard time with it either way, live or on the album. And if you're singing with Hank Williams Jr., hey, what do you drink? Hey, why do you roll smoke? Why must you leave out the songs that you wrote? That's family tradition. Stop and think it over. Put yourself in my unique position. If I get stoned, I think just carrying on an old family tradition. Right. Of course. Now that's based off the album, right? Right. Now let me teach you the freestyle level. Let's do the same line. If I get stoned, I sing all night long. It's a family tradition. Now you see what I did there? I freestyled it, changing the intervals of the note, and giving a little more vibrato and a little bit more of Hank's on strength when he sings live. And again, I changed the overall feel of the song by putting a touch of realism instead of just track as well. To when I did the actual freestyle version. So that's the point there. Now, unless they're using auto-tune live somehow, and like I said with Cher, do you believe in love as love? I can feel something inside you say. Now that is more of a live performance than with the auto-tune, which they say she uses in the song. Do you believe in love as love? That's closer to the auto-tune version. I can feel something inside his head. We don't think you're strong enough. No. Those still sounds live on that. Now, it's hard to really match auto-tune with the human voice, but not impossible. Let's go to that song real quick next. Oh, really? Now I want to teach you how to match auto-tune in music. Only doubling mine. Skip the music. You want to focus on the voice, not the music. There we go. A little bit behind here. After love, after love, after love. Sorry. After love, after love, after love. After love, after love. Now, have to laugh at myself a little bit. After love, after love, after love. Now, after love, after love. After love, after love, after love. Here he goes. No matter how hard I try. No matter how hard I try. You keep pushing me aside. And I can't break through. There's no talking to you. Now, Cher has a naturally low voice, which is cool if you're an impersonator, and you like impersonating different singers. And when we would sing in choir, what we would do is we'd put in our voices, and go up high, and go low, right? Now, of course, the people in the school would hear us do all that. Probably think we're nuts. I know. But that's to develop your vocal range, I know, and see how high and low you can sing. Ooh, baby, baby. A little bit of Smokey Robinson. Ooh, baby, baby. Alright. And again, to going from one high voice to a low voice is, you know, how you can also impersonate duets. Like, not Pina Colada, silly. And, You Are a Magnet and I Am Steel. Who's on that song? Well, anyway, here you go. You are a magnet and I am steel. No, that's not the duet. That's not the way I'm thinking about. No. Alright. Well, the captain didn't sing with Captain Neil, silly. There's a group I'm trying to think of that does a duet. African American origins. For you are a magnet, and I am steel. Let's see. Well, let's use Sonny and Cher's original I Got You, Babe. They say we're young, we don't know, won't find out until we grow. Now, I don't know if he did the first verse or her, it's been a while since I song, but I can do it either way. They say we're young, we don't know, won't find out until we grow. Either way. And again, that's the point there too. I know. Now, we're all individually male and female, regardless of your external gender. And that's why some people might want to become, in their own mind, like Cher's daughter, Chastity, who is now known by a different name. I forgot the name. Chaz. But anyway, the opposite sex. We're all, closely related in androgynous anyway. All that determines your sex is Y sperm joining with the X or an X sperm joining with the Y. That's fine. And maybe in Chastity's DNA, she has more masculine traits than feminine traits. What do I know? I don't know. Not to judge, least she be judged. But the point is, when you feel certain ways, no one can tell you how to feel. And no one can control you if you feel that way, and that's fine. That's fine. But the point is, there's no talking to you. Now, this is based off of Sonny and Cher when she originally sung and not Oddity. There's no talking to you. Right, Sammy Davis, but whatever. I could take a payment. I'm sorry. I forgot all the words, but sprinkle it with two, cover a chocolate, do a miracle or two. The Candyman can. The Candyman can. If you remember, the Candyman can cause it mixes it with love to make the world taste good. Anyway. What the Westman Thriller played. Songs that made the hit parade. Guys like us, we had it made. Those were the days. And you knew where you were then. Those were cousin and mommy. I'll change that a little bit, but whatever. But the point is, that's a true impersonation, but also changing around the lyrics a little bit. I know, and each person capable of singing in the impersonation of the other person. Now, if I wanted to, I could do it in Eva's voice the whole song through, or Archie's as well. Right, Dana Carvey? Who, in his movie, what was it? The Master or whatever? The Apprentice or something. Anyway, where he played the world's greatest impersonator. But anyway, that was a long time ago. And how I could assume different disguises and stuff like that. But mine's just a vocal performance where I learned to match every singer I listened to growing up. Let's just be frank. But anyway, by the way Ben Miller played. That's Edith's voice singing the first line instead of Archie. Songs that made the hit parade. Guys like us, we had it made. Those were the days. And you knew where you were then. Girls were girls and men were men. That's why Sammy Davis there. Reading Sammy Davis do it. You know what I mean there, George? I know. I'm moving on up to the east side, to a Dean Rock's apartment in the sky. We're moving on up to the east side. We finally got a piece of the pie. That was Jefferson's. Beans up burn in the kitchen. Just to make you laugh this morning. I'm laughing at my own jokes like Jimmy Fallon, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, part of this is, like I said, to teach you impersonations and to go from one song to another. And how to filter it too. And completely change your vocal sound to match theirs. But anyway, that's to show you how I was singing it myself. Right. By the way Glenn Miller played songs that made the hit parade. Guys like us, we had it made. Those were the days. And you knew where you were then. Girls were girls and men were men. And again, that's just up in line there. That's my voice, as it was. Or just one of them. Because I can even change that. That's the old man voice. By the way Glenn Miller played songs that made the hit parade. Well, let's do it in Cher's voice then. Songs that made the hit parade. I'm sorry. Guys like us, we had it made. Those were the days. Right. And see, like I keep telling these people, I'm not doing this for, popularity or money or anything. Just just to show how I learned to sing with y'all growing up. I don't know why you have a problem with it sometimes. And of course, I don't expect a lot of views anyway, because it seems like someone's trying to cap me anyway and control everything I'm doing. You know, like with the show The Outer Limits. We are controlling the vertical, the horizontal. Everything you're doing, huh? And, well, how am I doing what I'm doing then, man? You tell me that now. Because, you know, this is just our karaoke machine. I didn't even use the whole karaoke machine. Right. But anyway, I'm not impersonating other people's voice or changing my voice or anything like that. So whatever. Whatever you talking about, man. Oh, these people will think me okay sometimes. But not me. I'm trying to be, you know, deal with bipolarism, maybe a little bit of delusionary or grandiose type, but I don't think I'm schizophrenic at all. Maybe a little post-traumatic stress disorder by seeing one of my ship based electrocuted and them not working with me the whole time, 2.5 years on the ship, but whatever. And then maybe interfering with my love life with Sheena. And Mary Bell too, who knows? Or Daphne or whatever. Seemed like everyone was out to get me sometimes. At least towards the end of the relationship when we went back shit on me a little bit. Know what I mean? You know what I mean. Or someone drag out a relationship for 17 months and then say, well, nothing. Or you're not getting your letters because someone's either stealing it from your mailbox, which is possible, Maribel. If you're writing me, I don't get any letters from you because maybe they were stealing it from the mailbox. I don't know. But anyway, if so, that would be a government conspiracy, maybe? I don't know. Not wanting me to be happy? I don't know. Or you were coming over more frequently and I don't remember it all? Or I remember, you know, a few nights. Lonely teardrops. But anyway. Now when I met Sheena, I did the same routine. When we were on Palma. And we were going through the local shops and I just started singing a little bit of Stevie Wonder. My Sherry, my lovely as a summer day. Now, you cannot do that. I can do gospel songs. Oh, happy day. From the Sister Act 2. And, even though it was a group. Oh, happy day. When Jesus was. When Jesus was. When Jesus was. When Jesus washed my sins away. There's my voice. Oh, happy day. He taught me how to watch and pray. Watch and pray. So anyway, a little bit of Southern gospel for you. And anyway, of course I can go from Christian Fellowship Church, David Armstrong, who did Jesus is the Answer. Jesus is the answer for the world today. Above him there's no other. Jesus is the way. And you're under comedy. You're under comedy. That's Spanish for walking with the king. Though they also did it in English. Walking with the king. Or Pam Thomas singing I'm still thinking Jesus is David Armstrong in there. Right. Well, she never sung Just As I Am, but I can do that too. trying to get the song left. I remember it, but drawing a blank. Like him. All right, let's do Dell instead. He had a good song with My Redeemer Lives. I know that my Redeemer lives. That's Dale. Oh, what comfort this sentence gives. He lives, my Jesus, who once was dead. I know that my Redeemer lives. And that's just the audio. That they also played music and stuff like that, or accompanying music. And let's see, trying to remember some of the songs. Of course, there's the How Great Thou Art. Now, when I first heard this song on the radio, it was played by Z102, which had gospel music. A guy from on the station, Burl Womack, and he used to play gospel music in the mornings, and me and my stepbrothers, we would listen to it as Big Roddy and Mom was getting ready for work, and we were getting ready for school. And anyway, he left around 6:30, but we got close to the same time. And anyway, we would listen to Pearl on Z102, point one, and back then it was Z102, and it was at 102.1 on the radio dial. It's probably still is today. Then it went more contemporary, and Burl sort of lost his job. Well, I don't know if he lost his job, but after about, let's say, 85, he sort of was fizzled out, somewhere around there. But from like the 80s to 1980 to about 85, we would listen to Burl Womack in the morning and hear him some of the gospel songs. Well, I remember hearing of some songs like, one was, How Great Thou Art. And anyway, go like this. Oh Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider the worlds thy hands have made. You can insert Olive there. Oh, Allah, my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all, or Zeus, O Zeus, my God, or Odin, O Odin, my God, or Jesus, O Jesus, my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made. I see the stars, or sun, whatever. I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe display. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. So anyway, that was one of the songs we listened to, and I forgot who sung that one too. And there was excuses. I forgot who sang that. Excuses, excuses, you hear them every day. Now the devil he'll supply them if they keep your truck away. When people come to know the Lord, the devil always uses to keep us away from church. He offers them excuses. Of course, I don't know if y'all remember that, but I do. Of course, growing up in Savannah, you would have to have grown up in Savannah. And listen to Burl Womack on D102. Right? If not, you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, so excuse my French there. Or the mess I'm talking about. Right. When I say the F-U-C-K word, I mean it in a replacement of a word, which, means you don't know anything or about what I'm talking about, and emphasizing it through a interjection, which is using the word some people are offended by, spelled F-U-C-K. Now, for some reason, they don't want children to say this word. I don't know why. And only adults can say this word. I don't know why. But they don't want you to know this word until you're older. Okay, I'm not your parent, and I understand, and you gotta respect different people's points of view. But what the word means is fornication, unlawful carnal knowledge. It's a condensed form of a word where only the first letters of the phrase is used, right? And it became an anagram. I think it's called an anagram or something like that, to replace the whole sentence. Well, I don't see what's wrong with using that. If you don't want to say fornication, unlawful carnal knowledge, right? Just say F-U-C-K, right? Whatever. Now, they consider this the worst swear word you can say ever. Right. Don't say this word, you're going to hell, man. Alright, we gotta go to hell. Okay, well, I'm finding out to you about. You know what I mean? They threaten you with hell, and they can take you out or something. When they can't. See, that's religion in the church today. I know. Now, one of the big deals in Jesus' day was the washing of pots. And they were like, if you didn't do this, you would go to hell. I know. Now, of course, this wasn't about bacteria or anything like that. They didn't even know about that. So, when confronted with it, Jesus him about eating with unwashed hands, or not washing your pots or things like that, and trying to say people would go to hell or stuff like that for it. I don't know. That's basically what Jesus meant. See, the scribes were tithing mint and root. What is mint and root? It's a herb. Nowhere in the Torah, the 5 books of Moses, does it even say you have to tithe mint and rue or everything. Well, the Pharisees of Jesus' day were saying, if you don't do this, you'll go to hell. If you don't follow us, you'll go to hell. That's why Jesus and them were sometimes at odds. A little like I am with the church today. Now, growing up, they wouldn't even let us listen to rock and roll or stuff like that, or AC/DC, especially because of the song by them that seems a little homosexual to them. Now, of course, I got the ACD, one of the ACD albums, but this was with their first lead singer, Bon Scott. And, you know, he talks about being your backdoor man and stuff like that, which some assume was anal sex. And again, I'm trying to explain something to you about anal sex. If you choose to do it and you do it, no one can stop you, no one can control you, no one can say you did a right thing or a wrong thing. But here's comes a little problem. If you want to have sex with someone and they say no, what you gonna do then? And you're gay, and most people don't want to feel gay, or are taught not to feel gay, or don't even feel gay yet, or ever. Now, only if you think, and again, I would try to talk my way out of any situation, that the rules are absolute, and that you can die tomorrow, but you can't. But usually you what? Don't. Right. This is like the Salem witch trials and things like that. I don't know. Well, what happened is little girls started accusing grown women of being witches, right? And whatever the child said is what they believed. I know. There was one lady who was trying to recite the Lord's Prayer, and one of the girls said she saw a demon. Well, I don't know who was the witch, but if you see a demon, I think the little girl was more of a witch than the woman was who was reciting the Lord's Prayer. I mean, she was seeing a demon was teaching the woman the Lord's Prayer. I mean, someone was crazy there, and I don't think it was the woman that was accused, right? Right. Like, for instance, John Hagee and his hatred of J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter. And as a fictional book, by the way, John. Well, again, he's a blowhard from that era who thinks you can't read a fictional book on witches. And that's the same as witchcraft. No, it's not. Now, I bought a book on Wikipedia, which is a modern-day white witch's guide. Now, this is probably just filled with spells, and let me see if I can find and stuff like that, probably. I ain't even had a chance to look through it fully yet, but there it is. Now, is this fresh modern guide, written by two celebrity witches, unlocks the secrets of the Wiccan universe, empowering newfound witches with a recipe for happiness. The author's aim as spiritual life coaches is to help witches realize their hopes and dreams with a little witchy know-how. In the Wicca tradition, it is believed that all things are magical. You have the power within yourself to change the world around you for the better. Wikipedia builds on the belief by tapping into a new branch of witchcraft based on angel energy known as angelic Wicca, which emphasizes respect for the earth and all things living. Sean and Leanna share practical information about all aspects of modern witchcraft, from emailing or texting spells and microwaving potions to using traditional tools like the pentagram and crystals, calling upon guides and angels for support, learning how to psychically gaze into the future using a crystal ball, numerology, and even TV white noise, and interrupting dreams and signs from loved ones on the other side. Now, a lot of people believe in this stuff. Now, what can I do but try to understand why? Alright. Now, there are also, some say demons, right? But there are also angels, right? Now, according to Jesus, every child born has an angel assigned to him or her. Or, if they're both genders, intersex babies as well. Now, the thing is, though, there's also what they call the demoness Lilith. And she's there to curse all the babies, right? In Jewish mythology as well. And again, that's why some people would do certain things put certain things over their child's cradle or crib or whatever you want to call it, and to make sure the child slept safely through the night, because some died of SIDS, which is sudden infant death syndrome, and that's just where the baby smothers itself by rolling onto its face and smothering itself as it's sleeping through the night because it can't breathe. Or him, her, it can't breathe. Now, the point is, though, Lilith is thought to be the demoness who does all that. And if the child isn't blessed properly, it can die. That's why some people, like the Catholics, for instance, want to bless their babies, crazy Christians, and pour water over their head to baptize it until it reaches adulthood. Now, you crazy Christians of today, like the Baptists, don't understand that Lilith back then was a real demoness in the minds of the Jews, which Jesus never contradicted Lilith at all. In fact, he told you to pray in this manner: Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Now, the thing is, though, if there's a Lilith, you need to know how to defend yourself against her. So if you don't know how to do that, and you don't sprinkle your children to protect them from Lilith like the Catholics do, why do you judge those who have a different idea of the demonic world than you? Who might know something you don't know and are just trying to protect their children the same as you are until they reach the age of accountability, which is in the Catholic Church is 13. Now that's when they have their first communion and stuff like that, and take their first wafer and stuff like that. The body of Christ and the blood of Christ and stuff like that. Now they also have to make a confession, right? Now, if you believe with your mouth, is what you say, right? And confess, if you believe in your heart and confess with your mouth the Lord Jesus, you shall be saved, right? Right. That's what the Baptists harp on. They no longer teach baptism as a part of salvation either. Now, if the Catholics, when the child reaches 13, have a confession of faith for the child to say, even if it's repeated the same as you do with people you want to convert to your religion, which is using the Roman road. Now, what you do is you use the Roman road, which is based off of certain passages in Romans. The first one is you have to admit that you are a sinner and that only God can save you, and so on and so forth. And then you make a confession of faith after all that by saying, I confess with my mouth and believe in my heart that God raised Jesus from the dead, and then you're saved, right? Right. That's all you gotta do. Well, the Catholics do that when they reach 13, so why, Baptists, can't the Catholics make it into heaven if you don't believe in baptism anymore yourself? And they just sprinkle their child to protect them from Lilith, probably. That's what I mean about judging people in other religions, right? And not getting to know them because you're doing your own thing. And not even seeing the similarities between your two religions. Just being judgmental and condemning and saying we're better than you because we do things differently. No, you don't. In fact, you're worse than the Catholics because you don't even seem to care that your child could die from SIDS and pray to Jesus to protect your child and maybe even sprinkle with a little water like Ezekiel said to do. Anyway. Because you don't read the Bible, you're only shown what people want you to see, like with Pastor Davis or Regan Baptist Temple or the Church of God I went to here in Garden City when I used to live there with my mom, or any church you go out to that teaches you a doctrine based upon scriptures they're comfortable with, and anything they're uncomfortable with they don't even talk about, right? That's the problem. I don't know if the Muslims do this, or but I think the Jews do it a little bit too. Now the Jews will read through the Torah and the prophets and the law, and also the Psalms and the Proverbs and the Song of Solomon and stuff like that, and the minor prophets and stuff like that. But they won't touch, for instance, the Apocrypha because it was written in Greek. Which again does really tell the rest of the Jewish history that during that 400 years. Right? But that's a prejudiced way to look at the book simply because it was written in Greek. Why don't you just translate it into Hebrew, dumbasses? Then it's written in Hebrew. Like, with the Septuagint. Whatever. I mean, really. But what can I do about it if you're stubborn and know everything and think God's still on your side? And who can convince you he's not? I know. If you think it is. No one. Same with the Muslims, same with the Christians who become militant because they won't understand grace and how it really works. And that's part of the problem. So anyway, just teaching you a little bit of singing this morning. It's 5:31 a.m. Time to eat some breakfast. Have a great day.